Welcome to Red Eye. Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Shillue. Let's check in with TV's Andy Levy at the Red Eye Tease Deck. Andy?
Thanks, Tom. Coming up on the big show, a man visiting Mar-a-Lago takes a picture with the man in charge of protecting President Trump's nuclear football. President Trump himself will join us to talk about this and give us his surprising thoughts about the Grammys. Next. Plus, Pakistan's High Court outlaws Valentine's Day. The court's decision simply said, it's not you, it's us. And finally, a new study says married men are happier than their single counterparts. Watch Tom Shillue shamelessly pretend to agree straight ahead. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Andy. Let's welcome our guests. The guy she's married to is rich. Bet she wishes she married for money instead. Comedian Bonnie McFarlane, author of You're Better Than Me and co-host of the podcast My Wife Hates Me on Riotcast. What's his name? It's all Greek to me. Comedian Yanis Pappas, whose album, Let Me Be Yanis, is available on iTunes.
It's a pun.
North Korea just tested a missile right before our show. Coincidence? I think not. Observer columnist Michael Malice. And you may remember him as the creepy guy who followed you home last night. Lurking next to me, comedian Dave Smith. Okay, let's start the show. What a weekend for members of Mar-a-Lago. President Trump hosted Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe at the Winter White House in Palm Beach. And on Saturday night, when news broke that North Korea had launched a ballistic missile, the terrorists turned into an open-air situation room. Trump and Abe plotted their response in the main dining area, surrounded by club members, reviewing documents with the help of flashlights on their phones because the patio was only lit by candles and moonlight. A diner posted this photo to his Facebook page. And that same diner also shared a pic of him posing with the man responsible for carrying the nuclear football when the president is away from the White House. After discussing strategy, Trump and Abe held a joint press conference on North Korea. Then, before calling it a night, the president dropped in on a wedding taking place at Mar-a-Lago and toasted the newlyweds.
I said to Marilyn Monroe today, and I said to the Prime Minister of Japan, I said, come on, Shinzo, let's go over and say hello.
That's what I say. Come on, Shinzo.
Wait, is Shinzo a derogatory term?
No, it's his name.
Oh, okay.
Shinzo.
It can be used as one, though.
It can?
Why not? It sounds like one.
Well,
You
what do you
Shinzo.
think? I mean, it could be, but Dave, what's wrong with, talking about North Korea over candlelight? Sounds fun.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to grab something to drink and discuss a dangerous nuclear power.
Yes.
All in once.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of Trump hysteria, so I don't really know if this is actually that big of a deal. I thought it was just kind of hilarious. Who takes a picture with the nuclear code guy?
Well, he was there. I mean, look,
weird.
If you were at a party and you were like, who are you? And he's like, I'm the nuclear code guy, and this is the football.
Oh, dude, we need to get a selfie.
Don't tell me you wouldn't take a selfie with it. I would.
Yeah. Well, yeah, now when you put it that way. But I'm saying who goes into it thinking that? Like,
yeah.
There probably should be a rule that guy shouldn't stop to take selfies with people.
Well,
he just should be focused on his
He's got to be
job.
near the president, though, and there's people all around.
Yeah, but he should never put that thing down to have his arms.
Yeah.
You know, he should always have that on him at all times.
Well, look,
but it's like taking a selfie with Guillermo on Jimmy Kimmel.
It is, yeah, exactly. You got to do it.
It's like the yeah.
But look at the picture. How do you know the football's not down there? It could be out of frame.
Could be, could be not. You know?
I mean, I've seen the football guy before. I remember when Obama was president and we saw the football guy walking next to him. We saw his face. They didn't black it out. It was fine.
I didn't even know there was a guy who did that.
You didn't know about the football guy?
This is the first time I learned. No, I thought that was just like one of Obama's friends from Chicago or something.
I actually thought they made the president carry around with him everywhere he goes.
Well, I mean...
I was like, that job must
Whoops,
suck.
dropped it in the toilet.
Well, look.
Like every now and then, does that guy have to like do that thing when you lose your keys and you're like, oh, no, oh, gosh, I can't.
You got to give it to somebody. Michael, here's the thing. Let's talk about North Korea, all right? Now, was this kind of situation, do you think it called for the cone of silence, or can't they just look at the materials there at the table?
Yeah, I think people are freaking out a little too much about both North Korea Korea and the reaction from Trump and Abe to North Korea. They do this every few years. They boast that they do this intentionally. They say they're going to slap America in the face to get us to do what they want.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happens. I mean, they were launching missiles into the Sea of Japan. If they wanted to hit Seoul, which is like 10 miles south of the DMZ, the border between the two Koreas, they could have done that since the 50s. So this is just them, you know, throwing a tantrum, and whatever press release they put together would have been completely irrelevant anyway.
When is China going to step in? I mean, China's right there. Why don't they knock them around a little bit?
I wrote about this in my book, Dear Reader.
I think it's pronounced China.
North Korea revels in the fact that they are what they call a shrimp among whales, a small country surrounded by superpowers, and that they're giving the finger to Russia, China, the U.S., Japan, and South Korea. So China has been on them to, you know, liberalize and open up, and they're like, no. Our Juche philosophy means it's for Koreans, by Koreans, so we're going to defy you. And in fact, Kim Jong-un took over for Kim Jong-il, his father, in 2011, because the eldest son said, we want to be more like China. Look what happened in Beijing. Look how much better it is for the Chinese people.
Yeah.
And Kim Jong-il told him, if you want openness, open a window. And he passed him over and gave it to the third son instead, who said he was going to stay the course.
Wow. Bonnie, what do you think of that?
Well, thank you for the history lesson.
Yeah,
North Korea.
Yeah, for Korea, by Korea. I have their sweats, I think.
Kim Jong-un was going to do it, but then Kim Jong-il said no.
Bonnie,
yes,
about Mar-a-Lago, people are making a big fuss about the fact that he's down there at his resort. But this is what presidents do. They can't spend all their time in the White House, right?
It's a working vacation. I'm against it. I don't think that you should. It's a working vacation to me is like 69, the sex act. It's.
You're opposed to it?
I'm opposed to it. One or the other. You have fun or you don't. That's how I see it.
Wow.
No to that.
Well,
I think it's indicative of his his style. You know, he's just his presidency is kind of like he's just throwing it out there. Basically, every executive announcement he's made so far is kind of like the meeting he should have had 3 weeks before. He's like, we're going to put a 20% tariff on all imports coming from Mexico. That's how we'll pay for the wall. And everyone's like, oh, that's going to cripple the American economy. He's like, all right, I'm just throwing it out there. It's just a meeting with 60 million people. So with this, too, he's like looking through it. He's like, come on, guys, gather around Canada. They're like, let's do this together.
yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not like there's a bunch of strangers there. It's all members of the club.
Yeah.
Maybe what they should do, could they possibly get all those guys clearance? You know, they could go down there and do like like
Or
TSA,
sign non-disclosure
TSA pre
agreement.
or something. Make them all go through some screening program.
Yeah, and I mean, North Korea does have nuclear weapons, so this is obviously a very, very tricky issue. But at the same time, I'm sure that most of those people in there were at least somewhat high up, and I'm surprised that guy didn't have the sense to, not put that stuff on his social media.
It is a very, like, that point you make should be made by a lot more people, though. The fact that they could nuke South Korea tomorrow, if they wanted to. Like, they're not waiting on anything.
Correct.
They have the technology and the
Absolutely.
delivery. So all this stuff of like, oh my God, if they just get a little bit more technology, their worst enemy is right there.
Yeah.
No,
and they're not hitting them.
Their worst enemy is Tokyo, and they can hit Tokyo, and they revel in that fact.
Okay, joining us now to discuss his visit with Shinzo Abe and much, much more is none other than the President of the United States himself, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, thank you so much for joining me here.
Hello, Tom.
It's amazing, Mr. President, you have been president for less than a month.
Yes, it seems so much longer because I've done so much more in a short time than any other president in history.
You know, I've been hearing a lot that you don't get much sleep. Is that true?
It's not true, Tom. I've gotten in a full 8 hours.
Wait a minute, you sleep 8 hours a night?
No, a total of 8 hours since the inauguration.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, how do you think your meeting went at Mar-a-Lago?
I think it went tremendous. It's a fantastic property. It's the crown jewel of all Trump hotels and golf courses. It's really, really incredible.
No, I mean the meeting, Mr. President.
That.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was good, too. I met with Japanese Prime Minister Honest Abe. That's how you say his name, Tom. Abe, for the longest time, I've been saying Abe Vigoda. Turns out it's Abe Vigoda. Who knew? Anyway, me and Abe, my Kimosabe, we agreed North Korea won't nuke anything, not even a hot pocket when I'm president.
Wow. Well, one of the diners at the club pose for a photo with the man who carries the nuclear football. Does that concern you at all?
Tom, fake news. Listen, he doesn't carry the nuclear football. He carries Sean Hannity's football. All right? I treasure that. It was a gift from Sean. I do. I treasure it. I carry it with me all the time, everywhere I go. You never know when I'll want to play catch on the White House lawn with my favorite son, Jared.
Okay. Well, that's great news. Well, you also met with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Yes, and he's a pretty good-looking guy for a Canadian, I have to tell you. I told him I would add another F to NAFTA.
Why? What does that mean?
Well, I told him the F means fair, but it really means a different F, the F word. I shouldn't say it on television. After all, this is one time where people are actually watching this so-called show you have.
Okay. Moving on, Mr. President. Did you watch the Grammys last night?
I did. Boy, did Beyonce get screwed big league.
Really? Mr. President, you're a Beyonce fan?
Oh, huge Beyonce fan. Beyonce is fantastic. She's so talented. She's basically the Black Ivanka. She should have won everything in a landslide like I did in November. Instead, she lost to a chubby British Sean Spicer impersonator.
Do you mean Adele? She's different from Melissa McCarthy.
Not by much, and that was a horrible British accent.
Mr. President, you did have one fan in attendance, Joy Villa. She wore a Make America Great Again dress, and today she skyrocketed to the top of the iTunes charts.
I love Joy. I love Joy. She looked great, simply great. She made the red carpet great again. Now, I want to personally offer Joy, if you're listening, a half hour in the White House briefing room so she can sell her dress alongside Ivanka's.
There are reports that you're going to be naming your friend as ambassador to Austria simply because he loves the sound of music. Could that be true?
Tom, it's not just because he loves the sound of music. It's because he loves so many Austrian things. Now, of course, he does love the sound of music. He loves raindrops on roses. He loves whiskers on kittens. What else? Oh, yeah, he loves bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. And those are just a few of his favorite things. But I think we can agree they are phenomenal qualifications for an ambassador.
Well, you know, I think picking an ambassador based on their loves, I think that's a great idea. Are you considering any others?
I'm going to name Mike Huckabee ambassador to Turkey. He loves turkey, especially on rye with coleslaw and mayonnaise and bacon and gravy. He never forgets the gravy. Pounds and pounds of gravy.
Mr. President, I have one final question. Do you still have confidence in General Michael Flynn?
Sorry, Tom, I have to run. We're out of time. All right, thanks for the ratings, Bob. I'll see you.
Wow, that was ended abruptly.
It's a big get, though, for the show.
It was.
Yeah,
it was great.
huge.
Well, you know, he's right. The ratings do go up when we get him on the show. Dave, what do you think of all these issues we covered here? Now, I want to talk about
I want to
talk about this ambassadorship. I said it's a great idea. Everyone's, again, it's people freaking out over every single thing Trump does. Ambassadorships, I mean, you do hand them out to your friends, don't you?
Yeah, it is a real problem that there's just so much hysteria, like everything. So when he does something really bad, it's just there'll be no juice left. The whole media is like buoyed who cried wolves themselves into no one listening anymore. So yeah, it's kind of, I don't know why you would care about this. He can't actually be picking someone just because they like the sound of music. Like, that's too ridiculous even for Trump.
I don't believe it.
What are we even saying?
It's not the movie. You know that, right? It's just the guy likes the sound. That's a little crazy.
It's a good quality. I mean, the president did want to answer that talk. Let's talk about General Flynn for a second?
Sure.
All day we're talking about General Flynn. I think he's going to hang in there. What do you think, Michael?
I think Trump has been very big on being loyal to his people, and rewarding loyalty and sticking by them through thick and thin. So it's going to take a lot for him to get rid of someone this early on. Even George W. Bush stuck by Secretary of Defense for a very long time. Rumsfeld.
Yes,
because it's
a
like once
long time. Years past,
right?
you know.
Because once you admit defeat, then it's like dominoes. So he's not going to. If Flynn leaves, there's going to be some pretense.
Yeah, I mean, predictions all day. I mean, did you see it, Giannis? All day people say, a lot of people say he's not going to make it. He's got to go because he lied to the vice president. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you.
Thanks for doing this show.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I mean, if Trump has been able to survive all this is just sort of like a wiffle ball at his head.
Yeah, exactly. How about the Trump dress?
They've been throwing hard balls at him. They've been hitting him in the head. This is just like a tiny wiffle ball.
Who is this woman at the Grammys with the Trump dress? I think that woman is taking a risk. Finally, someone willing to stand up for themselves. I don't know who she is, but God bless her. I hope she sells a lot of albums.
I think she did sell a lot of albums. She's number one on iTunes.
Yeah.
And
for now.
Yeah, for now. I think it's going to be a spike and then it's going to go down pretty quick.
Really.
But did Bonnie say that like she had a plan to bring her down?
Not for long. But Bonnie, look.
No, her dress was made in Mexico. You guys know that, right? I mean, this was not an American-made dress.
I think that it's
Mega.
That's not really true, is it? You just made that up.
I just made...
You made it up.
We don't have to stick to facts anymore, I thought.
Wasn't it something watching... I mean, you watch the award shows, you watch the Grammys. Remember
Don't tell me what I watched.
Do you remember when musicians were counterculture? They're all saying the same thing.
Yes.
No good, right?
I guess I'm sort of out of that world now. I'm a mom. And
I see. Okay, coming up.
Okay, very good.
Pakistan outlaws Valentine's Day. That's so Pakistan. Pakistan has officially broken up with Valentine's Day. On Monday, a high court outlawed all festivities and decorations associated with February 14th and banned the media from discussing the holiday. The ban comes after a citizen's petition claimed Valentine's Day, named after a Christian saint, goes against Islamic teachings and promoted, quote, immorality, nudity, and indecency under the cover of spreading love. The ban was announced after shipments of Vermont teddy bear had already arrived.
Wow.
Wow. Very sad.
Finally, something I can agree with Pakistan. Let's
Pakistan gets it right.
Wait a minute! Giannis, you don't like Valentine's Day?
No, I support Pakistan's ban on Valentine's Day. I think we should take a hint from them and do it too.
I think we should get rid of a lot of... I mean, there's the two holidays I hate the most, Valentine's Day and Martin Luther King Day. And I just, it's just about selling products.
Well, Bonnie, does your husband take you out to dinner on Valentine's Day, get you flowers, things like that?
He always stops in at CVS before he comes home, yes.
I don't know what he does there.
You know, the thing is that there is such high expectations on Valentine's Day, and it's always, a little like people always say after, if you're married, they always say to you, oh, did you get lucky? Did you get lucky? And I always go, no, I had to do it. And it's, always at least once a year, you gotta,
It's amazing. It's like the more advanced we get as a society, the more you get removed from the fact that Islam solves a lot of these problems, Wait
a minute.
No divorce either, She gets up to leave, you just pick up a rock.
And no back talk.
I know you guys are, you're not romantic types. But
what are you talking about, Tom?
Doesn't it bother you?
It's like your Tumblr.
That it's essentially it is a secular holiday.
Oh, you're saying is this a violation of freedom? Yes, it's the first one in the Muslim world. It's the first time they've ever put the count down.
Now they've gone too far.
This was the drawing. Like what? They can't have Valentine's Day? That's
Although Pakistan, they're usually not.
Yes, they're cool compared to Saudi Arabia.
They are, right?
Compared to us.
Yeah.
Can't they just take those cherubs and put a hijab on them and have them happy?
Do they have Valentine's Day in North Korea?
No, they don't.
What do they have in North Korea?
They celebrate the birthday of the great leader Kim Il-sung, the birthday of the dear leader Kim Jong-il, and then they have Fatherland Liberation Day.
Don't forget about Starvation Tuesday.
That's every Tuesday.
But they don't even, on Christmas, you don't have people huddling in the corner, you know.
Christmas? Oh, no, no. If you actually go to China to sell goods and you come back, you get a slap on the wrist. But if you go to China and you've spoken to a Christian, you and your family are executed. Because they can't have any kind of contradiction between their religion, which is Juche and worship of the leaders, and you know, some other religion. But
this is the best pitch for the Pakistani government I've ever heard. They're like, so really? I mean, they just banned Valentine's Day.
What do you have a problem with Valentine's Day? You're a young man. It's a great way.
It's the worst. I'm going through it right now. It's tomorrow. My girlfriend's been giving me hell about, like, hey, you didn't make reservations. I want to go to a place that plays music. And I'm like, I want to break up right now. I want to break up before Valentine's Day and get back together.
You sound like a great guy. What are your wedding vows going to be like? You know, I don't feel like doing anything for you now.
Yeah. That's
if you say I do to that,
did you read my journal? Yeah, that's exactly what I want to put in.
I had a girlfriend once, and she didn't think going to the movies was good on Valentine's Day. And we went to see some girl movie. It was like a romantic comedy or something. But she thought the line was, no, it's not movie. You got to have a nice, expensive restaurant, something like that.
It's never good enough.
I wouldn't call Silence of the Lambs a girl movie just because he's in a dress.
To me, it was. And it's got Clarice in it, you know. Thought that was appropriate. Flowers. You got, hey, you know, you can send a barbershop quartet to people. Did you know that?
But that's any day of the year. That'd be a good birthday present.
Valentine's is a great thing. You call up the number.
Stop trying to sell your Valentine's barbershop quartet.
It's all for charity.
What do you do for your wife on Valentine's Day?
Me and the kids go down to the bodega and we get some flowers. And then we bring them back, put them in a vase. I might scramble up some eggs.
Nice.
Very nice.
And the kids make, you know, when you have kids, it's, you know, they cut out things. It's fantastic.
Aw, that's sweet. Yeah, where did they get that it was like this salacious holiday? It's just about getting nagged about being romantic. That's what
you know what she wants, and I hate to do this because I'm against the holiday, but she just wants to know you care. So I don't know however that fits in for you.
Wait, hold on.
I don't care. I care about her. I don't care about Valentine's Day.
Can I just have a moment of how much I don't like genuine Bonnie? Just go back to the Bonnie I know.
Just like the regular Bonnie.
She knows, though. She knows. You're right.
Let her have sex with someone else. That's what she wants.
Okay. There we go. There's my gal.
Coming up, halftime of TV's Andy Levy. Welcome back. It's time to find out what we got wrong and what we missed. From TV's Andy Levy over in the Red Eye News Deck. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Tom, what are you all laughing about over there?
I don't know. People are laughing.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's about.
I know. It looks like you guys are having fun tonight.
It's a fun one,
Yeah, I've just been, you know, over in a corner. Anyway. Seriously, what were you guys laughing about?
Valentine's Day, we're still going on that.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll get to that.
How horrible a holiday it is.
Okay. All right. Let's start with Trump and the Mar-a-Lago stuff. Dave, you said there's a lot of Trump hysteria, so you don't know if the whole talking about North Korea in the dining room thing is a big deal. For what it's worth, Sean Spicer, who as of this taping is still press secretary, he says that no classified material was shared at the table and that the president was briefed before and after dinner in a SCIF, a sensitive compartmented information facility.
Okay. I mean, if the big critique on Trump here is that he's being reckless with some type of, like, important material, the last president had the biggest leaker in modern history come out under him, Edward Snowden. Hillary Clinton had a big scandal for her. I don't know. It doesn't seem very legitimate that this is actually a concern about, you know, I don't know whether there's classified material or not. It just seems phony.
By the way, like genuine Dave.
Oh, by
yeah, but see, unlike Bonnie, I'm known for that.
Oh, nice. Why am I the nice one today?
I'm not sure that's true, Mike.
Thank you, Andy.
You're welcome. By the way, Dave, we can agree, though, that probably the best thing Obama did in his 8 years was have Edward Snowden as a leaker.
Oh, yeah, the fact that he paid Edward Snowden to leak all of that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Snowden's a hero.
Yeah. Also regarding the guy with the football, there are plenty of photos out there of this guy and of the guy who did it for President Obama, et cetera. It's not like there's, like, people are saying, oh, this is a huge thing. It's not a huge deal. The only difference here is he posed for a picture with someone, which you usually don't do. But
I thought I saw that. I mean, when you search for football, you see all these pictures of this guy holding the thing.
Yeah, it's nothing. Malice, you said people are overreacting to the whole North Korea nuclear test because if NOCO wanted to nuke Seoul, they could have done it for a while now.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've said this on the show before, but when I first got to Korea back in 1991 when I was in the Army, they told us that in case of an attack, our job was to die slowly so that reinforcements could get in country.
Yeah, I mean, they've been waving this sword around since the 50s. I mean, this is just them kind of being stick-up artists.
Yeah. Giannis, you said everything Trump says is what should have been said in a meeting 3 weeks ago. Yeah, which, considering he's barely been president for 3 weeks, is really something.
Yes.
Amazing. By the way, the whole dropping in on a wedding thing, who does he think he is, Bill Murray?
Right, yeah.
Stop it.
Wedding Crashers 2.
Yeah.
Starring Donald Trump.
But also, I forget who it was, but somebody pointed out on Twitter, if President Obama had done that, everyone would have thought it was charming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I wrote that.
Yeah. Oh, was that you, Bonnie?
Yeah.
No, it was someone funny. It was a guy.
Oh, wow. Left hook, right hook.
Haymaker.
Yikes.
The Sound of Music thing. Dave, you said there's no way Trump could have picked the guy to be ambassador to Austria because he loves the Sound of Music.
So even as I hear you read that back to me,
Because you thought that was too ridiculous. Really?
Nah, all right, nothing's too ridiculous in the Trump moment. But even that would be a lot for him.
Yeah. I don't know. Malice, you said Trump is loyal to his people, and if Flynn leaves, there's going to be some pretense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll end up resigning because he doesn't want to be a distraction.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's my guess.
And just like, Monica Crowley, she kind of was like, oh, I changed my mind when that whole plagiarism thing happened.
Mm-hmm. What?
Monica Crowley was going to join the Trump administration, then it turned out she plagiarized big parts of her book, and then she's like, oh, I decided I'm not going to join after all.
Oh, I was thinking of Lewinsky for some reason.
But he stuck with his campaign manager. What's the first one? Paul. What's his name? After he had been charged with the assault. I mean, that later got dropped.
Oh, Corey. Yeah.
Corey Lewandowski.
Yeah, Corey Lewandowski. I'm sorry.
Who almost killed a woman.
Great guy.
Tom, you said God bless the woman who wore the Trump dress to the Grammys.
Yeah.
Really? I thought we wanted entertainers to stay out of politics.
No, I switched. I'll be back.
I just wanted to check on that.
I'll be back to that next week.
I disagree with.
Yeah, next week. Okay. No, it's just that they're so, at an event like that, I like to see somebody go against the grain.
Okay.
The reason I'm so sick of them is they're all going one way, Andy.
Right.
Boring.
Okay. Pakistan bans Valentine's Day. Bonnie, you said your two least favorite holidays are Valentine's Day and I believe Martin Luther King Day?
That's right. I stand by that.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Well, it's too commercial.
Tom, you said to Dave and Michael that you know they're not the romantic types.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
They don't seem to be, I don't know that. They don't seem to be to me, though.
All right. Michael, would you say you're the romantic type?
I'm absolutely a romantic. One of my favorite movies is Amelie.
All right. Dave, how about you?
One of my favorite movies is True Romance. So yes, romantic type.
That counts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How much do you talk about North Korea on a date?
Too much. They bring it up, and then it's like starving kids. Hey,
it's not quite as romantic as Natural Born Killers, but it's close. Giannis, have you ever actually broken up with a girlfriend right before Valentine's Day and then gotten together with them right after?
No, but I had the idea on the show, and I'm going to do it when I get off it. I actually just texted her, hey, I don't think this is working out. I can't wait to get a pizza for myself tomorrow.
By the way, this is kind of a serious deal in Pakistan. A woman who protested against this ban, she was pro-Valentine's Day, she was, a couple years ago, she was assassinated.
Oh.
Like, they're literally killing people over this.
Oh my God, you'd think like a guy would run to her rescue. That's how a woman thinks. Oh.
I got to say, again, I agree with Pakistan. It works when Bonnie does it, but not when I do it.
No, not so much. Not so much. And just lastly, Tom, I believe that using this show to try to get people to hire your barbershop quartet is a Kellyanne Conway-esque ethics violation.
Oh. I don't think...
I think it is.
I never said my quartet, Andy.
I think it was implied.
It wasn't. We don't do singing telegrams, Andy, because I'm busy.
You know what? We'll discuss this at the meeting on the second floor tomorrow that I've arranged.
Also, I can speak for every woman out there. They don't want it.
I am done.
Thank you, Andy.
Yep.
Coming up, are married men happier than single guys? What does this face tell you? But first, Kennedy.
Hello, red-eye moon landing conspiracy theorists. On the next Kennedy, Ben Kissel makes his triumphant return to the show, and Matt Welch will try and thwart him. It'll be great.
What guy would want to get married these days? The modern world has everything set up perfectly for single guys to be able to while away their adulthood, playing video games and having commitmentless sex. National Review did a profile on a guy they call Six-Pack Craig. Here's his view. The fact is, my six-pack abs have gotten me far more sex with high-quality women in their prime than a man's six-figure income ever will. Craig says that he'd rather work 10 to 20 hours a week and use his free time to relax at the beach, sail, play golf and tennis, then, quote, marry a 30-year-old woman and take care of her into old age by working 50 hours a week at a job I didn't like. Well, that's Craig's fantasy, but it doesn't really match reality. In a study on men in marriage, 2 researchers show married men win the game of life across the board. In money, married guys make about $16,000 more than their single peers with otherwise similar backgrounds. Granted, that's what I spend on frozen yogurt for the kids every year, but sometimes they let me have a bite. Sex! It's better for married guys. Guys who live with a girlfriend have more sex, but for married guys, it's higher quality. That's right. It's awesome being awesome. Also, Craig's six-pack notwithstanding, married guys are physically healthier. And that's no surprise, because their wives are more likely to push them to go to the doctor. And in mental health, married guys win big league. Look at this chart. The husbands blow away both the shacker-uppers and the singles in happiness. So maybe this Valentine's Day, you can forget the flowers. Put a ring on it. Bonnie, you're married.
I'm married, and I do think men, I don't agree with marriage for women, but I think men need it. I do think it's a better thing for men.
There you
because
go.
Because the guy, Craig Six-Pack Abs, the thing he listed, going to the beach, playing golf, like you get to do all that, and someone does your laundry and makes you dinner. I mean, how much better could it possibly be to be a dude in a marriage?
It's so true. You know, I've said that. The guys, you see a guy out there, you see these guys, 40s, 50s, you look at them, they're unmarried. I mean, it looks like there's things in their sweater.
Wrong. It's creepy. Yeah. Unless they're gay, and then it's fine, because they know how to take care of themselves.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Giannis, you agree. Look,
is that why you go to Giannis now?
I want to go to Giannis, because I want Giannis to get married, as I do with all guys. I want you to get married. What do you think?
I think this segment just scared me into getting married, because I do not want to become Craig Six-Pack. That guy is a liar, first of all. It's like, I'm getting plenty just because of my abs, really? Is that all it takes? Just a couple abs? You're getting more than a guy making 6 figures? It's just not possible.
You don't believe it. No. Michael, you seem to have empirical evidence here.
I do. Yeah. I wrote an article about this called How Getting Abs Changed My Life, and the answer is it didn't. Like everything else in National Review, this is completely false.
Wait, what?
I put my ab photo on Tinder, and I got 0 matches. So this Craig doesn't even exist.
He's a liar.
It's complete bull.
Well, wait.
Women don't want a guy with abs. They don't care if you've got a little body fat. So all that men's health stuff, all the National Review stuff, it's all crap. And now I have to eat a certain way for the rest of my life, because if I lose these abs, it's going to be going into decline, which is the worst thing for any male to go through.
Wait a minute. Well, first of all, let me defend National Review. The article in National Review was saying Craig was a dum-dum.
But they're also saying that he used his abs to get laid, and that is a lie.
Okay, it's a lie. But now,
and it's a very frustrating lie, Tom. And I'm hungry all the time.
The thing is, then why don't you stop your system? I mean, you got the abs, let them go. They didn't do any good for you.
Because Tom, then it comes a whole midlife crisis thing, and I got to get a Corvette, you know, like to hold on to my losing youth. It's a situation.
Being on this show doesn't get you laid a lot?
This show?
Yeah,
I think it does. I think it does, and I think it could. And I think if that was your opening line. Hi, I'm Dave Smith from Red Eye with Tom Shillue.
I cut the Red Eye part out. I just go, I know Tom Shillue.
That's it. That's it.
By the way, I know I thought of this joke like a long time ago, but I still want to go back to the fact that you referred to casual sex as commitmentless sex.
Yeah.
At the beginning. That's such an awkward way to put it.
Why?
Commitmentless.
Well, it's a key word. I choose.
Isn't that what casual sex is?
No. I don't want to say
Didn't we as a
casual.
society choose a better term for that decades ago?
Commitmentless is beautiful, as all other words in my monologues. They're there for a reason, because I want people to realize that that's what it is. It is sex without commitment, and it doesn't lead to happiness.
You're like pushing your life on us a lot today on this episode. It's like the barbershop quartet thing.
Wow.
You want all of us to get married. I don't know. I'm happy. Like
Misery
this.
loves company, as they say.
Singing is good for your health as well.
And
the
for your
breathing,
abs.
all the breath coming in and going out. It's very
Breathing?
good for you. Yes.
That's what I'm not doing that right?
I don't think you breathe enough.
I think you breathe too much.
Do you guys know how to breathe?
I think he does it too much.
You think you breathe too much? In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. I think
That's
we can all
math?
do that. Yeah.
Got
Before you go to bed,
math.
do 10 of those. In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. But about
This is not the first time I've heard him tell someone this.
I tell my kids all the time. Are you going to get married?
Maybe.
That means no.
It does.
Well, I have like plans that I'm going to get married.
Yes, you have to have plans.
So like even if I don't meet someone I want to marry, I just have to say yes, I'm going.
Yes,
to. This
you
is gonna
need
happen
to.
at some
First of
point.
all, you need to get on the concept. Then you need to get on the woman.
Dude, I'm on Bumble.
Hey, listen, I'm pro-marriage. Coming up, Playboy is back in the nudes. Coming up tomorrow on the next Red Eye, Kathy Aru, Joe Mackey, Rob Long, and Dave Smith. You're coming back.
You guys can't get enough of me. I'll be married by then.
Playboy's experiment with Puritanism has ended. Yes, 1 year after banning naked photos in an effort to reach a more mainstream audience, the men's mag is returning to its R-rated roots. The March-April issue, now on newsstands, bears the cover headline, "Naked is Normal." And yes, inside you'll find naked women. Hugh Hefner's son, Cooper, tweeted, quote, "Nudity was never the problem because nudity isn't a problem. Today, we're taking our identity back and rediscovering who we are." Giannis, what do you think?
I think it's not going to work again. I think if the only thing that's going to help Playboy is if they can get rid of the internet. There's some way to get rid of the
next.
internet. Yeah, a naked woman is like, I mean, it's like offering, you can get like a pizza, and then but you're like, hey, here's a scone. You want a scone? You want a dry, old scone?
But don't you think that
it's over? It's antiquated. The magazine. Does anyone read magazines?
that's the issue? Is that they're suffering the same problems as all the other people in the publishing industry? But I think. No,
but Giannis is right about what he was saying. It's double. They have the magazine problem, but they also have the problem that they're not the source for nudity anymore. Like, that was the thing decades ago, like, oh, you could see a naked lady in Playboy. Kids wanted to get their hands on a Playboy. Now some 14-year-olds like, I just watched Two Girls, One Cup. Like, what? Oh, you're showing nipples again? Who
That's
cares?
it. Maybe they're sick of it. They're sick of all the explicit stuff, and they want something that's a little bit less dirty.
But I agree with Giannis, too. Both moves were pathetic. The move away from nudity was bad. The move back is bad.
It was a new Coke move, wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
I think it was intentional. I think they did this. They're playing with us, Michael.
And it's really kind of dumb because they've got such a good brand that they could be some kind of men's lifestyle brand. You could have Playboy condoms or whatever. That rabbit symbol is something very iconic part of American history. So they should just let the magazine go by the wayside. Look at CBGB's. It closed down, but you've got CBGB's shirts everywhere.
Well, now but they're also opening up the club as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Playboy's going to have the club in Times Square. But I think, you know what was big a couple of years ago? All those magazines, that, like the Soft Core, the Maxims.
The Lad
magazines.
Yeah.
And you'd see a gal, she'd put a towel over her shoulder. It's fantastic. What do you think?
But those all went by the wayside also.
They did,
So,
okay,
I mean, there's if you want porn, go to the internet. If you want to read articles, also go to the internet.
I got an idea to save Playboy.
I want to go to you, Bonnie, but I want to hear
I don't
Giannis'
have,
idea.
I don't have anything to say about it.
What?
I'm a lady.
Giannis, give me your idea. How to save it.
Well, this is what you do. Uber, Lyft, you take that, put a hot chick, naked hot chick in there, Playboy taxi.
And car accidents.
Boom. So you get picked up. You get
But
picked
do you
up.
have to stick through the divider to look at her? I mean, she's up there in the front.
It's like a lift. It's like there's no divider.
I know, she's facing the wrong way.
Look, we put a mirror. Put a mirror right there so you can watch her.
Yeah.
And so you get picked up by a hot naked chick. Call it Playboy, the Playboy app, and it's the Uber of you know, hot chicks picking you up.
Yeah, the rape mobile.
What do you think,
Right.
Bonnie?
The rape mobile.
Uber.
No,
Uber
it's
app.
easy to get. I mean, it would be easy to get those drivers, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Just,
you
hey,
can-
do you want to make almost nothing? And also be naked with strangers that could possibly
It's a dream
rape you?
job.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's just a good side hustle, you know?
It's just, you know, there's no wrong answers at a brainstorming session. Okay, very Bonnie McFarlane, Giannis Pappas, Michael Malice, Dave Smith. That does it for me, Tom Shillue. I'll say goodbye. See you later.